Hey guys and gals, this is Psionic Arrow, and I've got the E-50 Tier 9 German medium tank this time. This is my highest tier tank at the moment, and I've just recently gotten in a game where I'm not in a platoon, and I do well. Alright, so this thing has 1,750 hit points. It weighs 64.6 tons. With a 1,200 horsepower engine. Now, this is the heaviest medium tank you will probably find so far anyway. And that being said, the E-50 is a good ramming tank against other mediums or, you know, other heavy tanks that you know that are lighter than you. Quick check. No, actually, I'll do that later. It has a 60 km/h speed limit, so that's pretty good. With that huge engine there, you will be getting up to that speed very quickly. Now, as with all German medium tanks so far, it has 26 degrees of track traverse and 30 degrees of turn traverse. What I mean by all German medium tanks is that they're not meant for circling other tanks. The E-50 is a little bit better on that front because it is much faster than its previous tank, like the Panther II or the Panther. Even though the Panther II does have a better track traverse, and obviously actually both have a little bit of yeah, it's better track traverse, but the turn traverse is not as good. And of course the top speed on the E-50 does help quite a bit. Alright, so with a medium tank, especially this guy right here, the E-50, I've equipped coated optics because, well, you're not going to be staying still for too long. Enhanced gun lane drive to speed up aiming time, and a medium caliber tank gun rammer so that I don't have to wait as long to shoot other tanks. Now, enhanced gun lane drive can be substituted for a vertical stabilizer, and that would what a vertical stabilizer does is it actually the aiming reticle is usually a certain size when you're moving and turning your turret. A vertical stabilizer would set that to be smaller, 20% smaller than what it would be when you're driving at full speed and turning your turret. So that could be an alternative. I'm trying the enhanced gun lane drive because sometimes I want to snipe in the tank, and well, I guess there really isn't that good of a reason. I could replace the coated optics with a vertical stabilizer, as the E-50 does have 400 meter view range, and that's pretty good. It also has the standard 710 meter radio, the FUG-12, which goes on pretty much every single German tank excluding the tier 10s. And let's see, there's a tier 5 with it. Panzer III, I think that's a tier 4. So starting from tier 4, you'll be able to get this amazing radio. Now the E-50 has a choice of 2 guns. You can either have the 10.5 centimeter L52 or the 8.8 centimeter L100. Now let's see, the 88 centimeter cannon has 223 average penetration. Let's take a look at that. 223 average penetration and 240 average damage, with a 0.3 accuracy and 2.9 seconds of aiming time. It has a rate of fire of 9 rounds per minute, so very fast. It has 3 millimeters more penetration than the 10.5, but that doesn't really matter, and it is supremely accurate. Now, for the 10.5, you get 220 average penetration, but 390 average damage, with a 0.32 accuracy and 2.3 seconds of aiming time. And it comes with a 6 round per minute rate of fire. And I prefer the 10.5, mostly because of the alpha damage, which was sorely lacking in the Tier 7 Panther. It was a little bit better in the Panther 2, but I'm not staying with a 240 damage gun for very long. As you can see, the 10.5 is still fairly accurate, and 3mm of penetration isn't that much. And now, doing some calculations, the damage per minute of the 10.5cm cannon is higher than the 8.8. So that should get you thinking a little bit. However, you do not need to research the turret to equip the 8.8cm L100. Now, what is it? You're gonna need to equip the tracks before you can fit. I think you needed to fit the tracks before you can fit the 88, but I don't remember. Alright, so let me think. What you would get when you first buy the E-50, it would be the 8.8cm L71, FUG 12 hopefully, and I think this Tier 9 engine here at 870 horsepower. So the E-50 will feel very sluggish and not very powerful with just an 8.8 L71 at Tier 9, mind you. Let me just check. 64 tons. I sold everything in my depot, so I don't really want to equip. This is 2.5 tons. That's 3 tons. Okay. Well, obviously the turret would be lighter, right? Yes. So actually, you can fit the 8.8 L71 on the standard turret. But you're going to need the tracks if you want. If you're researching the 8.8 L100, you're probably going to need the tracks to fit that on. Now my recommendation is, if you can stomach the pretty terrible 8.8 L71 at Tier 9, then you should go for the turret. Sorry. You should go for the tracks, turret, and engine. Sorry, not engine. Turret and the 10.5cm gun, and then the engine. However, if you are feeling that the tank is too sluggish, you don't like it, you're being artilleried all the time, then I suggest you get the tracks, the engine, the L100, and then slowly make your way through the turret and then to the 10.5. So what I actually managed to do is, sorry, what I should say is, what I did was play with the 8.8 L71. I got the tracks. Then I went for the turret and the gun and then the engine. And once you get the gun, it feels quite a lot better. And then the engine, it feels amazing. This is my favorite tank so far. Even more than all the faster medium tanks. Even though I said I like those more. Alright. So, what you're actually... Here, let me show you a little thing here. The E-50 compared to a Tiger II at Tier 8. You can see that there isn't actually a lot of difference. It's got the same design, mostly because the E-series of tanks were designed to be improvements on their predecessors, and they were taking the Tiger II into consideration, and they wanted to make kind of a universal tank where all the parts are interchangeable. Maybe it says that in here. Standard medium tank to replace the Panther and Panther II. And obviously it only existed in blueprints because, well, Germany lost the war and they couldn't make these tanks anymore. Alright, so 42 armor piercing rounds, 3 premium and 3 HE. With 220 penetration and a .32 accuracy gun, I haven't felt the need to load premium ammo at all. I've actually taken this thing into Clan Wars and had no trouble getting kills or damaging hits on other tanks, especially on tier 10s when they sometimes underestimate you. In Clan Wars, they don't underestimate you as much, but they do tend to go for the other higher priority targets. Which brings me to why I chose to move to the E-50 instead of playing my Tiger II and then getting the E-75. I find that in a heavy tank, the artillery really goes for you. And in an E-75, the tank is actually quite slow, even with this engine right here. The E-75 gets the exact same engine, but it weighs a lot more. It does have a lot more armor, of course. But the E-50, it's fast, mobile. It can snipe. It's a multi-role tank, I think. It's capable of getting into some scouting positions if you do not have any proper scouts on your team. And it's got a decent turret armor. 185 on the front, 80 on the side, 80 on the back. 120 hull armor on the front, 80 on the side, 80 on the back. Now, with all German tanks, so far anyway, engines in the front, so this lower plate, you have to guard this very carefully, otherwise you'll get set on fire, your engines will be shot out, whatever, stuff like that. Standard weak points, commander's hatch. Well, at 120, you probably can shoot this thing straight on with some tier 9 guns. I'm pretty sure it can penetrate. I mean, there's a chance it'll bounce. So if you're in an E-50 and you're facing off against a heavy tank or, you know, something that has a really big gun, you know what? If you're facing off head-on against some guy and you can't get back into cover, it's best if you wiggle your tank around while you're reloading. And then maybe even after you've reloaded, wait for their shot to bounce off of you or miss you. You know, keep on wiggling your turret in different directions, your tank, as well as moving around backwards, forwards. Try to be unpredictable. And they'll either miss you, they'll bounce you, or they'll, you know, shoot you in the tracks. Anything but shoot you in the engine. Hopefully. I have had some success with that. You know, it's not a guaranteed bounce or anything. But once they fire their shot, you know they have to reload, so with your super accurate gun, just blast them in a weak point. It's very fast to aim, especially when you've got equipment to handle that. Alright, so the crew here is... they don't even have their first skill yet, mostly because I kept the crew on my Panther II and the crew on my Panther. No, actually, I think I moved the Panther crew to the Panther II and put some other crew into the Panther. But you can tell I got a lot more games on the E-50 than on the Panther II. So I'm almost got my first skill, Sixth Sense, very useful. I put in Deadeye so that hopefully I can knock engines and ammo racks out more easily, or maybe like destroy their guns and stuff like that. Repair is always good to have, and situational awareness for extended view range. I don't have any other tier 9 tanks to compare it with. I can compare in the tech tree, but that's probably... I mean, you're gonna know that the E-50 is completely different from the Patton, the Lorraine, what was the other one? T-54, that was the other one. Was that the Centurion Mark something? Centurion Mark 7/1. Very different tanks. Actually, I did play the Centurion Mark 7 in the test server, and that kind of acted like an E-50. However, it did have better traverse. So not so much. Anyways, let's get into a replay, and I'll meet you guys there. Alright, so we're on Morvanka. It's an encounter battle, and I'm deciding on which way I feel like going. And as a tier 9, I have to push pretty hard, even though I'm not in a heavy tank. You can see that we've got 2 tier 9 tank destroyers, a T-30 and a T-95. They're actually moving over to the east side towards the magical forest. And they do a pretty good job over there defending. Alright, so traditionally on this map I do like to take a fast tank up onto the hill and start scouting. But right now I'm more concerned with staying alive. Alright, E-75, get a shot in on him. No problem there. Any shots you can take on enemy tanks where they cannot return fire is a good thing. Panther over there, all the way in the forest. Those S-51 artilleries, they are platooned, they are dangerous, and they are very hard hitting since they killed that T-32 in one shot. Here's a T-20.
Penetration.
No problem with shooting that guy. Alright, Patton over there. No problem at all. And this is, what is it? It's like an 8.6 second reload. Alright, Patton again. No, alright, he disappeared off the map. Now, those guys are doing a pretty good job. Artillery is as well. We have 2 French artillery. Patton, there he is. He's coming around into, or towards the cap. So that's a tier 9. Here's the E-75. He's finally showed up. I'm tried to take a shot on the commander's hatch. I rushed the shot a little bit. So I'm going to wait for the reload. Patton over there. Get a shot in on him. IS-3 takes him out from 44 health. Doesn't matter to me since I got most of the damage. I would have actually been a little peeved that if he got the damage and then I got the kill. Alright, so the line is the one on cap. Take a shot in. It went into the tracks, I guess, since I hit him for no damage on the side of the line. Bounced the shot from the line, bounced the shot from the Tiger P. They were shooting at my upper plate, which was actually slightly raised due to that hill. Alright, Tiger P is there. Probably hasn't moved, so I'll take a shot there. And, alright, so it kind of looks like we lost our guys in the forest. Actually, I haven't really been paying attention to the minimap too much, so I'm not sure how many went into the forest. Alright, so this IS over here is being very brave, taking on an E-75. Now here's where I switch from a sniping role into a brawling role. Alright, there's the E-75. I bounced a shot there. Trying to move. Alright, bounce the shot from the E-75. Alright, somebody got a side shot in on me. I tried to shoot his track there. Didn't work. E-75 is a very slow tank. It can be circled quite easily. Alright, good. There we go. IS manages to deal the damaging blow on him. It wasn't the IS-3 like I previously had thought. S-51 take us out. The IS-3, see, those guys are extremely dangerous. They're getting direct hits probably, or maybe they're firing premium rounds like that IS-3 is screaming about. So here's the Tiger P. He gets a nice shot in on me. And of course, heavy tanks, especially a tier 7 heavy tank. Okay, IS takes him out as well. And alright, so the S-51 missed me there, lucky for me, as, well, I'm not exactly very armored. I'm not even as armored as, the T-32 or IS-3. Okay, E-50, I was planning on going back to take out the E-50, but our T-30 over there on the other side got him. Nice job. They did extremely well. So now it's just a T-25/2 and 2 S-51s. Alright, so here's the T-25.
Looks like that one went right through.
You didn't see any numbers pop up, but right here on the left hand side it says I did 294 damage. Hopefully it's correct. Because that's what I'm basing my numbers on. Alright, S-51, he's behind the house. No chance of me shooting him there. Ooh, we got a good hit on there. He got a good hit in on the T-95. 90 HP left. The other artillery spot, I fire the shot. Didn't manage to hit him. But that's okay. We win the game, and I did... Well, let's talk about that in the stats. Alright, we'll see you there. I got one spot, a Confederate and a sniper, as well as 880 points of experience. I'm down to 74% health. Fired 15 shots, 14 of them hit, 10 of them penetrated. I did a total of 3,807 damage. That's awesome. And I got 33,000 credits on premium. It would have been 13,000 on a non-premium account. So on a premium account, I actually got 1,320 experience, and that was on a double, which is nice. Let's see. Also, I got a damage upon detecting of 1,030. That's not too bad. And I got hit 5 times. Alright, so that's pretty much it. This is a great tank. I really like it. And I feel it's my style of tank. Thanks for watching. Please press that like button and leave some comments. I'll see you guys in future videos.